We could be looking at the final 7-star unit before Neovisions comes out in Brave Exvius. Welcome back, guys. Today we're going over Zenaida. Could possibly be the final 7-star unit, DPS or otherwise, that we see before Neovisions. Who knows? We're missing some of the CG units from the main storyline event, but this character, did not expect her to come out this way in Global. Let's talk about her. Thank you for spending that time here today. Thank you for support via Patreon as well as YouTube channel membership program. And let's get right into it for you guys with Zenaida. Pentacast character, huge limit burst damage with a 120 times multiplier limit burst. That is a little bit under 2 times as strong as Advent Children Cloud. So let's go over this character for you guys who should be interested in her, whether you should or should not pull for her, what your alternatives are, and what Neovisions is going to hold for you in comparison to this character. Because this character is borderline creeping on the strength of some of the Neovision characters in the future. So Zenaida here, absolute mirror of equity chaining character, has the Pentacast, has the very strong limit burst. The TMR here, graceful footwork, also extremely powerful, giving you access to 60% unconditional attack as well as 25% beast, human, dragon, and stone killer as well. So very strong TMR here. If you get her in the future from a random pull or whatever may have you in the future, you could get this, you'll use this. It's going to be very strong for you in those situations there. STMR here, Warlord Leg Guards, 65 attack accessory with the effect of lethal legs. This gives you 100% true dual wield attack, so it's very powerful, especially for characters that do not have a 150% plus true dual wield attack. So small caveat here, it is extremely strong for a lot of characters out there, but if you're looking forward to the future where characters are starting to have 150% base true dual wield, you don't really need 100% additional because the cap for true dual wield is still 200%. There's no 300% cap as of yet. I'm sure at some point in the far future, we could see that, right? True Double Hand and JP did go from 300% to 400%. So how much longer is it going to be until we see a 300% cap? Who knows? But as of right now, this could be overkill in the future for the true dual wield characters, but it could be good. But it is also very strong for a lot of characters right now. But let you know, I'm just trying to let you know that this could not be as strong as it is. It is very strong though. Still 65 flat attack. That's going to help you out. True dual wield, 65 highest attack you could really get flat in the game while giving true dual wield in the same accessory slot there. Now, her one weakness here is her equipment slot. We have fist weapons, maces, and spears. This is relegating her pretty much to spears and fist weapons only as of right now, unless you give her some sort of equipped sword or something of that nature in specific circumstances. Armor selection though, hats, helms, clothing, light armor, heavy armor, and robe. So she has pretty much all of them outside of the shields in the game, which you're not giving her because she's a true dual wield character. Now going into her skills here, we have access to a lot of different elements as well as a lot of different killer buffs for this character. All of her chaining skills are absolute mirror of equity. We have Lion Flame Strike, Earth Tremor Strike for a Fire Imbue, as well as an Earth Imbue, both a part of the Absolute Mirror of Equity chaining frame family. Then we have Dragon Lightning Strike, as well as Darkness Shadow Strike for the Lightning and Dark Imbue. So 4 different imbues, Fire, Earth, Lightning, and Dark for this character. These are not her mainstay damage dealing skills, but they will provide that chaining utility if you're partnering her with a duplicate character, if you're trying to do that Pentacast, or if you're just trying to get up several buffs for her at the same time. She's going to be able to imbue and get those killer buffs up and the attack buffs up and things of that nature for herself. Now, on top of that, we have 4 other skills. Her breath skill, so we have Breath of the Lion, which is going to give her a 200% attack buff for 10 turns with 75% beast killer. Breath of the Earth, 200% spirit buff for 10 turns with 75% stone killer. And then we have Breath of the Dragon, 200% defense buff, 75% dragon killer, and then we have Breath of Darkness, 200% LB gauge fill rate with 75% human killer. These also are going to unlock specific skills: Lion Flame Claw, Earth Tremor Dance, Dragon Lightning Blast, and Darkness Shadow Thrash, which are going to be some of her utility skills. Now, she also has triple kick, triple cast base, but she's also, as a passive, going to be able to unlock Pentacast for herself there. So she's pretty easy. I want to say easy, not ET. Easy to use here for you guys out there in the world. Her main damage dealing chaining skill is going to be Flash Kick Suppression. It's a 7.5 mod with ignore 50% defense, but she's going to be able to add multipliers to this skill. First and foremost, we have Breath of the Heavens. It's an 11 turn cooldown, available on turn 1. This adds a 7.5 times mod to that skill for 10 turns, cannot be dispelled. It also unlocks Quintuple Kick for 2 turns and gives her 100 MP per turn for 10 turns. It also adds a multiplier to her other sort of supportive skills, the Imbues, the Imperils, the Killer Buffs, things of that nature by a 5 times mod. It's going to help you out a little bit there. This is a skill that you're going to kind of start the fight with Zendaida here, Breath of the Heavens, to get that multiplier increase. You're just going to use this skill. Now, starting turn 5, she has Flash Kick Calamity, 11 turn cooldown, available on turn 5. A 120% Fire, Lightning, Earth, and Dark Imperil for 3 turns to a single target. Gives herself a 300% attack buff for 3 turns to the caster. Also gives her 150% Beast, Human, Dragon, and Stone Killer for 3 turns, and a 10 times multiplier increase to Flash Kick Suppression as well. And this is also a 21 times mod, Absolute Mirror of Equity Chaining Frame skill. Now, as her passives are concerned, she gets a lot of attack passives here, as well as a little bit of spirit passives, not very many defense passives. She's not superly overly tanky. And talking about 150% true dual wield characters, she does happen to have 150% true dual wield here for herself here. Now, on top of that, she also has access to some LB damage buffs. As a passive here, 100% LB damage. She also has a 6 times mod dual wield chain cap, as well as the ability to base dual wield. She also will start off the battle with quintuple cast there for yourself. She has a little bit of elemental resistance to fire, lightning, earth, and dark. She's also immune to sleep and paralysis, and she also has a base 125% killer buff for beast, human, dragon, and stone monsters there. Now, that being said, she also has these unlocked skills that we talked about here: the Lion Flame Claw, the Earth Tremor Dance, the Dragon Lightning Blast, the Darkness Shadow Thrash. These are going to be a way for her to actually break for your team as well. So she's got a 74% defense break, a magic break, an attack break, and a spirit break. And these are also ways for her to re-imperil the monster for 120%. Lion Flame Claw is Fire Imperil. Earth Tremor Dance, you've guessed it, is Earth Imperil. Dragon Lightning Blast, that's the Lightning Imperil, and Darkness Shadow Thrash is the Dark Imperil there. All of these are also Absolute Mirror of Equity Chaining Frame families. And then her Limit Burst, the big one here, is going to be Infinity Kicks 60 times multiplier, ignore 50% defense to all enemies, 9-hit skill, 30 Limit Burst crystal cost there. Also enables quintuple cast for herself and gives her access to her Darkness Shadow Thrash, Dragon Lightning Blast, Earth Tremor Dance, and Lion's Flame Claw for a turn as well. So you can get those LB crystals back up. A lot of the times you're going to be using her as an LB damage finisher there with that 120 times multiplier, and then the turn after that you're going to be pentacasting her skills, building some chains, getting those killer buffs up, redoing those imperils as well because they are unlocked from the LB as well, and you're just going to be doing that back and forth. She's very, very powerful. She has really high multipliers as a chainer, guys. Unless you use her with a duplicate character, it's going to be a little bit awkward because she is a pentacast chaining physical damage dealer of Absolute Mirror of Equity. There's no real other character that chains with her because there's only her as a pentacast AT chainer. But that being said, using her as a limit burst damage dealer that is very self-supportive with her own attack buff, with some killers for some of the more prominent and rare enemy types in the game. Very, very powerful, and she has them as a base effect as well. Very strong, and you guys already know how Dark Visions is, right? She's got her own 300% attack buff. She's got those killer buffs of 150%. If you can wait until turn 5 to pass these around on these new Dark Visions that are out right now, guys, with Mastermind Zon, she's going to be very strong in your party for all of those types. And while you may not have a character that can chain with her because of the quintuple cast, you can still use her as that limit burst damage dealer there for you. And that's going to be a pretty big deal as you go in here and using her in that way, in that form, in that fashion, in that function. The big F's in chat. I want to see some big F's, the big triple F's. We're going to get banned. It's going to be our final video. So, should you pull for Zendaida, the final 7-star character? Possibly. Are we going to see some other ones? I think so. I think we're still going to see the CG Season 3 characters. I think it's going to be really weird if they all are left out, but this character is extremely powerful, borderline for a damage dealer. She will most likely be the strongest damage dealer that we will have before Neo Visions. But what does that mean for you guys? So if you are a brand new player, you just started the game right at the start of the anniversary, you want the strongest damage dealer out there, you have like 8 ULC saved up, you have a boatload of Lapis. What does the Neo Visions meta mean for you? The Neo Visions meta is going to mean a lot of different things for a lot of different players. If you're an old veteran, you're going to have a lot of copies of those Laurens, right? You're going to have a lot of those copies of those old units like Tifa and Lauren and Aline and Veritas of the Dark and things of that nature. You're just waiting for those characters to get their Neo Vision forms so you can get them upgraded pretty much for free if you have a lot of copies of those old characters. Similar to how we kind of went into the 7-star era. Hopefully it won't get delayed or anything ridiculous like that. That should not happen this time. That was a little bit sketchy because they're trying to rush it out. They can't rush it out and delay it at the same time. In my opinion, maybe it'll happen. But if you're a newer player, you haven't been around that long, you're not going to have all those copies of Tifa and Lauren and Veritas of the Dark and things of that nature. So what is it for you to do? What are you going to be doing here? So you have 2 options here. Well, 3 options. You can save up whatever Lapis you have right now and try to pull the new Neo Vision characters. Now, from what we know from JP, those Neo Vision characters do not have any form of pity. It's a 1% for the on-banner Neo Vision rate for someone like Neo Vision Cloud, and then after that it's like 0.75. It's going to change a little bit, 0.75 for on-banner Neo Vision, 0.25% for off-banner Neo Vision, but there's no pity for that whatsoever. So if you want a character that's going to be able to hold you up through a lot of damage, this could be a good character for you to pull on right now with whatever sort of Vizier you have saved up if you don't want to take that chance. However, you have some alternative options, right? We have the sort of anniversary thing still continuing into August here, and we have the different unit of choices that you could have for the next era. I have a video on that. If I can remember, I'll link that down below. But you have another solid option in War Hero Reagan as one of the easier characters to build as a new player, and he should do some solid damage for you for the time being. But he does not compare to a character like Zendaya, who is Zenaida, okay? Zenaida. I always want to say Zendaya. Zenaida here for you guys, just with the flexibility, with the killers and the self-sufficiency and the buffs and all of that stuff. Very strong character here. That's the 2 differences between a new player and a veteran player coming in and looking at this character. If you want the best of the best, she should be very, very strong for you if you want to do some trials right now. If you don't want to take chances on those future Neo Vision banners where you have to pull for the character, this could be a very solid option for you to just let off some of that Lapis and just sit on her. Maybe you've used some of your ULCs, maybe you've used that unit of choice next air ticket on like a tank or a support or something of that nature. Very solid character here if you're looking for a future DPS that should last you a long while. Is she as strong as the Neo Vision forms of the Neo Vision characters? No. Is she almost as strong? Yes, and that's why she could be a solid option for you looking forward to the future there. So final 7-star character, Zenaida, TLDR, very self-sufficient, 4 different elemental imbues, 4 different elemental imperils, can chain, pentacast, absolute mirror of equity, or even triple cast absolute mirror of equity here. She also has the option to be a very strong limit burst damage dealer. Obviously, you veteran players out there, I don't know why you're watching this. All right, thanks so much for the love. You already know what's going to happen. We already had a lot of videos on Neo Visions. All you veterans out there, do not pull for this character. Wait for them to release the forms of your older characters as Neo Visions. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with that because I've been giving that advice for so long. Hopefully they don't make me look like a fool and they don't delay all those characters, because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm waiting. That's what I suggest for all you veteran players to do. But if you want a strong character, new players, this could be a solid option for you if you've already used up your options on UOCing the free next era characters there. So thank you guys so much for the support. Hope you guys are doing well out there, staying safe. Get me some water, get me some coffee, all of that good stuff, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Take care, guys.